From written works and lectures about sound and the creative use of computers to teaching at the Berlin University of Arts, also the Center for Computer Research in Music and Acoustics, CCRMA, at Stanford University, and l'Institut de Recherche et Coordination Acoustique / Musique in IRCAM in Paris, to also other music releases and other artworks. Today we will be talking about Robert Henke. Robert is an audiovisual artist with a plethora of skills, and primarily focusing on installation, performance, and music making. His installations have shown in many renowned museums and festivals around the globe, including the Tate Modern and Sonar Music Festival. He, growing up, was surrounded by engineers and has deep roots in technology in his practice. He's also a pioneer in exploring multi-channel. Through his audio project with another German musician, Gerard Belz, they created Monolake, which is a duo project where they make music. However, they have, on the recent terms, reduced Monolake to only be in Robert's care, as Gerard is focusing more on the music software company Ableton, which they both helped found in 1999, together with another human named Bernd Ruggendorf. Now, I want to shed light on this Monodeck, which is a controller that he built. This is one of many skills that Robert has, is to create things that help and act as tools to further his installations, performances, and music. This controller helped him and Gerald to perform live sets together and to make music without using the computer. This is the version 2, and in a moment I'll show you version 1. There's a Max for Live patch that is bridging both the Monodeck and Ableton together.
So what is this controller?
That's the Monodeck. It's the first truly portable MIDI controller.
Where'd you get the parts?
Mark of the Unicorn, Moto. Döpfer, Monolake. That's from a Nokia phone, the power supply. Conrad Electronic, that's modular. That's just the channels on and off. That's a 6-channel mixer. I have 6 channels on my live set, and the 7th channel is sending MIDI signals to another laptop, which makes the video stuff.
This one, Ritual, is an installation of an array of speakers with each an audio channel, a set audio channel. A set of algorithmic processes containing a single sine wave and a few buffers in Max MSP controls the entire piece. During the course of the exhibition, the ritual is repeated in random intervals after several minutes, hours, or days, and each time a new set of frequencies and amplitudes is chosen. With the swapping of the buffers, it will create complex rhythmical patterns eventually, and it'll diffuse this in the space, never being the same. After a much longer while, the signal will turn into a stream of slowly changing colored noise. Next, cos sine installation is an installation of expanding circles of light synchronized with sound. This commission turns this abstract brutalist space into an audiovisual experience. Using several laser scanners, a sequence of light and sounds unfolds into an immersive audiovisual ballet of circles projected on concrete walls. The size, color, and textures of each circle and its locations inside the room is controlled by a computer program, which also creates synchronized sonic events, resulting in a complex spatial audio-visual composition. Phosphor has got to be one of my favorites because it uses this beautiful painting-like technique, but it's not painting at all. It's actually an installation. Each trace of light leaves a mark made by a single beam, a laser beam. The square projection surface, I should say, is covered with phosphorescent pigments. So the custom-written code creates this the pre-programmed randomness, the probabilities that are defining the speed and the position. The laser hits the phosphorescent pigments, whose light can stay active for up to 30 minutes after being exposed, slowly getting darker over time. The canvas keeps a memory of the laser beam's movements, where the newest traces are the brightest. This creates a much more complex and intricate, yet only temporary painting. Next, we're going to talk about a performance project. These objects are the beginning of the personal computer era, so some of the precursor computers in the 1980s. The Commodore CBM 8032 computers were just composed of text and symbols in monochrome cathode ray tube screen, CRT. These are like vacuum tubes containing one or more electron guns which emit electron beams that are manipulated to display images on a phosphorescent screen. These computers create sound. One machine is responsible for the graphics, and the other one is controlling all the others with the green cathode ray tube displays, CRT displays, facing the audience. The entire time this is operated by the artist during the show. The three computers that create the sound, and then there's one machine responsible for the graphics. And the graphics is of a low resolution and exclusively monochromatic green, which is upscaled to with a modern technology to an 1080p resolution to be able to be presented to the public. Through these pitch shifting kind of generators, there are waves generated from the unit through the clock, and so that is sequencing the sound as well. So how it works is that the custom clock generator sends a pulse, and it's this Firebird 6502 computer that was built for this project. So with the constant pulse, it sends like 32 notes that drive the sequencer, and the whole computer can omit a resolution, or like it can omit 256 bytes, but 4 of those bytes are reserved for functions like muting and clearing the screen on the video. So the video and the sound are kind of talking together, but there needs to be a few of these computers to be able to process such a complex idea. In the 8-bit piece, he has an FX chain that he modeled himself after gear that would stop working and stop being touring with him. So in Max MSP, he recreated the gear and the effects chain and then was able to get it physically made for his project. This is his reverb that he remade. Very nice looking reverb over here. And this one is the pitch loop remote control, which allows for custom looping on the fly and just a little bit of pitching and adding some LFOs and repetition. It is notable of his music releases as well, and I would like you all to take the time to listen to these in their entirety. However, we will be listening to excerpts. Lastly, I would like to bring up the Granular Max patch that Robert Henke made. I love his way of thinking about granular synthesis.
The granulator is, as the name implies, a granular synthesis-based sample playback instrument. It goes beyond what you could do with normal sampling, and at the same time it does not replace a sampler. The basic idea behind granular synthesis is that you take a very short piece of sound, like really a fraction of a second, and you loop it, and you play back this stream of loops. Then you can apply all kinds of modulations to this loop. A classical thing to do is smearing it in time. So you're looping one single portion of a sound file, which would just generate a very static sound, and then you just randomize the position. So they become this kind of swarm of sonic particles. And this is what's the magic of granular synthesis. Just a tiny little bit random to the position, and suddenly you got the pad sound. And if I move a little bit the position of the loop, then I can decide if I want to have the beginning of the attack phase as part of it sometimes, like now, or if I only want the
Well put, sir. I encourage you all to go and download the Max for Live granulator for Ableton and have a great time. He uses granular synthesis in his pieces. I find it quite magical to create these landscapes. Here we will listen to Fragile, made with granular synthesis. Well, there you have it. Thank you all for listening, and I welcome any questions down in the comments section below. If you like his work and want to talk about it, shoot me a message in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching. Till next time.